guys, it's Charlene. Today I'm excited because I'm going to share with you a fun interactive card. I don't do interactive cards very often, but I received these shutter card dies from Pink and Main, and it creates this awesome interactive card. And it comes with these really great instructions that you can get from the Pink and Main website and tells you exactly how to put everything together. So follow those step-by-step directions, and then you can just fold them up and put them inside your stamp storage pocket so you don't lose it. The biggest, most amazing thing about this die set is you don't have to measure. I don't know if you guys are anything like me, but I tend to shy away from interactive cards because anything I have to figure out measurements for in advance is not really my jam. I tend to stick with die sets so that way I don't have to worry about things. So these are perfect for me. Now I have also this lovely paper pad here. This is the Gradients and Dots paper pad. It has all of these lovely different colors. It's a great staple for your stash. You can see on one side there's a gradient of all these different gorgeous colors, and then on the back side there is a polka dot pattern. So you have lots of options working with these. I'm also excited about this super cute stamp set. These are the Fun Froggies stamps. They're absolutely adorable. I'm going to pick out some colors I think that go well with frogs. We'll do some blues and some greens. I've taken all of those dies and cut out my pieces using the blue and the green paper. So let me show you what I have here. I used this die right here to cut out two pieces. These are going to create the iris of our shutter. And then this die here, I cut out two pieces as well. These are going to be the front two decorative panels. I've cut out this scalloped circle and this straight edge circle, and this is going to create our decorative front piece. I cut these two dies here in the same color green. This is going to create a faux belly band on the front that our decorative piece is going to sit on top of. And using this die here, this is what our shutter is going to open behind. You can cut this from any color you want. I chose white because I use this die to cut out the decorative piece, which is going to be that nice blue. For our card base, I have a half sheet of cardstock, so it's 8.5 inches by 5.5 inches. And all you need to do is create your standard gatefold card. So you're going to start by scoring at 2 1/8 inch from the left-hand side. You'll flip your whole piece around and do the exact same thing, scoring at 2 1/8 of an inch. Then you just fold your pieces over and burnish them down with your score tool. I'm using 110 pound cardstock here for my card base because it'll make it much more stable for our finished card. It's a little hard to see here on camera, but the die has created score lines for us on each of these two pieces. So all you need to do is come in and fold along that score line, and you're going to fold it away from you. So that way the front part is facing you and the fold is going away from you. And for all of these different die cuts, you definitely want to come in with your bone folder or your scoring tool and make sure to burnish down on those score lines really well because it's going to help the mechanism work much better. Once you have folded both of those over, bring in some thin double-sided tape and you want to run it right along the edge of your flap. You want to make sure it doesn't go over the flap, but you want it to run right along the edge. Now open up your card base and you'll take the release tape off of the flap, and you want to take that top edge of the flap there and run it along the center just underneath your score line. So you don't want to do it over that. You want to go just underneath there and then adhere it down to your base. Make sure you apply some good pressure. Then you can take the whole thing and rotate it around 180 degrees. Take your release tape off of the second piece and you're going to repeat that process. You're going to take that edge and you're going to adhere your piece just underneath the score line. Now you have these two flaps here that are going to create your shutter aperture. So you can see how those work right there. Really cool. You can stamp your sentiment directly on there if you want. Just keep in mind that the amount of space you'll see is the size of that opening when your card flaps are open. So you could do an image, you could do a sentiment. I'm going to wait and add mine once I have the whole card put together. Now I'm going to take this main piece here and the decorative piece and add some liquid glue to the back of the decorative piece, just making sure that there's equal spacing all the way around on that circle. Once that's done, you can fold over the two score lines that are at the top and the bottom. Again, just burnishing those down with your score tool. Then same thing with the double-sided tape. You'll want to take it along each of those flaps right along the edge. Then you can just center the whole thing on the front of your card. Depending on your comfort level, you could take the release tape off before you get started, or you can do like I did and secure one side and then hold your whole piece in place while you remove the release tape from the other side. Now when your card is closed, you can't see anything, but you open it up and it's like magic. So cool. I love interactive cards. Now take those two decorative panels that you created and you can glue them to the front of your card. And you can use obviously whatever colors you want, guys. Like I'm using some coordinating colors here, stuff that I feel like it goes along with the frogs, but use whatever you have on hand. So for this next part here, we have the faux belly band, and you're going to fold over your flaps on each of these two pieces. And now you have a choice. You can either put adhesive on the inside of the flap and glue it back behind your card on each side. Or if you're like me and you don't want anything showing on the back of your card, you can put glue on the back of the flap and tuck it underneath your decorative panel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring a little pokey tool here and go ahead and make a little pocket on the side so I can slide my belly band piece right in there, and then I'll add some glue. Completely up to you how you want to do it. I finished adhering my first flap. Now I'm making a little pocket for my second one. Same thing, I'll add glue here to the back of that flap, and then I'm going to slide it in right underneath the decorative panel. I want this to line up with the other flap that we created. And when the flap is inserted, now it will keep the card nice and closed. And because we tucked those flaps underneath the decorative panels, we have a nice clean backside to our card. Then take the two front decorative pieces here. You've got your straight edge circle. So we'll go ahead. That's kind of a misnomer, a straight edged circle. I'm not sure what I guess one's a regular circle and one's a scalloped circle. There we go. Now go ahead and put everything together, and you're going to put some double-sided tape onto your faux belly band right over the centerpiece that the flap tucks under. Hopefully that makes sense as you're watching it here. Then take 3 more pieces of double-sided tape. You're going to add one along the bottom, one along the top, and one along the left-hand side. Now you do not want to get any tape on the other part of the belly band. You only want to get your tape on the part that has the scallops. So then remove your release tape and go ahead and take your decorative piece, and you're going to line it up with the scallop base piece so that it's perfectly lined up there and it'll fit just right over the top there. So now when you pull out that other side of your belly band, it'll come out cleanly and you'll be able to open up your card easily. To make it so that your flap comes in and out easily, go ahead and take a little tool. This is my tip. Take a little tool and work the edges of where the flap is inserted. So you can see I'm kind of pushing a little bit and stretching out the paper. I'm not pushing hard enough to tear the paper, but I'm pushing hard enough to help loosen the paper up and stretch those fibers of the paper. So that way your little belly band flap will go in easily and you won't have any issues. I'm going to set that aside. Now for the fun part, I've got the fun froggies. I'm going to stamp out 3 of the images here, and I'm going to stamp them in some intense black ink, which is alcohol marker friendly. We're going to be doing some coloring. I'm going to speed up my coloring a little bit in this video and try to show more of the actual coloring. So let me know what you guys think about that down in the comments. Starting with YG 1.6 around the bottom of the froggy's head, then bringing 1.4 all the way around and blending up and out with some of that 1.4. Bringing 1.2 in to finish it off. And then off camera, I did repeat the whole process a second time. For our little pond, I'm starting with B0.5 and I'm bringing it down and around the froggies, and then I'll bring in the 0.3, blend that out some and bring it down and around the entire little pond there, and then I'll finish blending everything out with some 0.2. Repeated that process and added a little bit of extra shading here and there as well. For my leaves, I'm bringing in G 1.7 and 1.5. They're tiny. I didn't do anything extra exciting. RV 0.2 and 0.4 for the pink flowers. And then I used yellows 1.1 and 2.3 to do the centers and as well as some of the other flowers. Got my O 2.7 and 2.5, I believe, for some of the flower tops, and then just some shading on their bellies with some warm grays. I didn't go any darker than a WG1 on there. I wanted just a little bit of shading. For our watering can cool grays, I used 1, 0, and 3 on that, and then I brought back in that RV 0.4 to add a little cute pink heart. Aren't they adorable? Love those little froggies. I stamped out 2 sentiments here, and I'm going to die cut everything with the coordinating dies. And now I'm going to show you guys, this is classic Charlene. I decided that I wanted some color back behind the aperture. I didn't want it to be white. Don't be like me. Decide this before you actually start doing things. So I'm just very carefully added some glue to the back of a piece of the green paper, tucked it back in there, and quickly moved it into position. Thankfully, it worked out and I didn't have any issues. All right, I've got our Hoppy birthday sentiment here, super cute, and I glued it to the center and glued one of our cute little images on the top left there, just being careful to make sure that none of the glue went beyond our blue decorative piece on the front there, because we don't want it to stick to that shutter aperture. We want to make sure it opens very easily. For the front, I'm adding some glue to the back of my second sentiment. Sorry, I forgot. Yes, I know. I love puns. You guys, puns just make my little heart happy. So I'm going to glue that underneath the 2 froggies, and I added some adhesive foam squares here, and I'm going to glue this right to our center decorative piece. Off camera, I made some more of the little flowers because I thought it would be cute to take those across our faux belly band. And that is going to finish up our card. Look how super cute it is, and it opens really easily, and then you have that fun shutter element on the inside. Super cute. Anybody would love this. All right, guys, I hope that you picked up some tips and tricks today and saw how easy it is to create your own shutter card. Please be sure to like and subscribe, as well as hit that notification bell so that I can continue to bring you more crafty content in the future. Until next time, happy crafting.